Hello everyone and welcome to this very first episode of the Hope Club. It's fantastic to have you with us. My name's Hannah and I'm the curate in the parish of Brayton. If you're not sure what a curate is, it's a bit like a vicar really, and I work with Rev Pete and the team here, and we're so pleased that you could join us today. So every week throughout August we'll be releasing one of these videos, and in it you'll find a Bible story and then some magic and some jokes from Dynamic Dan, and you'll hear a little bit more from him in just a bit. And we'll also be sending out an activity sheet and a craft sheet, and those are for you to use with your family to help you have fun and meet with God together. So today we're going to be looking at the story of what happened when Jesus met a blind man. And you can find this story in the Bible in Mark's Gospel. The Gospels are the books in the Bible that tell us the stories of Jesus' life, and this particular Gospel was written by a man called Mark, which is why it's called Mark's Gospel. Now, in a moment we're going to hear the story, but before we do, I've got a ready steady activity for us to help us to get warmed up and ready to hear our story. Are you up for that? Fantastic. Okay, here's what I want you to do. I'd like you to sit as still as you can and as quietly as you can where you are. Are you doing that? Brilliant. Okay, here's what I want you to do next. I'd like you to close your eyes. And for just 20 or 30 seconds or so, we're going to listen and see what we can hear. And then I'll ask you what you heard. Okay? Right, let's close our eyes and listen. Brilliant. Did you manage to stay still and quiet for all that time? Well done if you did. So, what did you hear? If you're watching this with somebody else, why don't you turn and tell them what you could hear? And if you're watching on your own, why don't you tell me? What could you hear? Oh, okay, interesting. Well, I'll tell you what I could hear. I could hear the diggers outside because they're building another house near where I live. And I could also hear a clock ticking. Well, here's another question for you. How do you think it would feel if you could only hear and feel things, but you couldn't see them? We take being able to see for granted if we can see, don't we? So it's hard for us to imagine what it would be like if we couldn't see anything at all. I wonder how that would feel. Well, as I said, today's story is about a man who couldn't see. And we're going to find out what happened when he met Jesus. Are you ready? Here's our story. Jesus and his disciples arrived in a village called Bethsaida. The people in Bethsaida brought a blind man to Jesus and begged him to heal him. Jesus took the blind man by the hand and led him outside the village. Jesus put spit on the man's eyes and then put his hands on him. Jesus asked, "Do you see anything?" The man looked up and said, "I see people. They look like trees walking around." Once more, Jesus put his hands on the man's eyes. The man looked again, and he could see people, looking like people, not trees. He could see everything clearly, and it was amazing. "Go to your home," said Jesus. The man made his way home, seeing clearly for the first time. Jesus had healed him.
Hello, it's Dynamic Dan here, and today I'm feeling a little lightheaded. Lightheaded! In this video, I'm thinking all about Jesus healing the blind man. But first, I thought we'd play a quick guessing game with these 5 objects on the table. It's really easy. All you have to do is try and guess what links these objects together. What have they got in common? What do they all do? I'll show you. We have a torch, a lighter, a tea light candle, an LED lamp, And it's like Christmas come early, some fairy lights. Fair enough. So, what do you think they all do? What have they all got in common? Any guesses? Any bright ideas? That might be a clue. Yes, I'm sure you've worked it out. They all give out light. Let's have a look. The torch lights up. The lighter lights with a flame. Remember though, never play with fire. It can be dangerous. The candle is electronic and it lights up and flickers. The LED light, the lamp glows brightly. Wow, really bright. And last but not least, the fairy lights twinkle and flash just like fairy lights should. So all these different lights remind me of just how important light is in our lives. We need light to see, we need light to help us find our way, and so we don't feel scared or in the dark. And this lighter reminds me that sometimes light can give us heat, comfort and warmth too, whether it's from a candle, from your fireplace or from the sun in the sky, which is just a great big ball of heat and light. Speaking of sun, Jesus, the Son of God, is often called the light of the world. That's because he can help us with his love and his light. He can help us find our way in the darkness. He can help us when we feel lost or scared, and he can help us to follow the right path in life. And just like the flame, if we feel scared, upset, lonely, he can bring warmth and comfort into our lives. Jesus wants to fill our lives with his love and his light until we feel like we are positively glowing. Now this deck of cards would be useless for playing games with. It's completely blank. As you can see, there are no pictures, no shapes, no colours on the front and on the back. But it reminds me that to begin with, the blind man couldn't see anything at all until he met Jesus. And I have one card here which is not blank, it's the King of Hearts. This reminds me that as well as the light of the world, Jesus wants to be the king of our hearts. He came into the blind man's life, and through his love and through his light, he performed an amazing miracle. The blind man opened his eyes, and he could see once more. All of the shapes, all of the colours, his sight was restored, healed through the love and through the light of Jesus. The story of the blind man features one of many amazing miracles that Jesus performs in the Bible. And you know, he can do amazing things in your life too. So don't be kept in the dark. Ask a grown-up how you can open your heart and open your eyes to him and let his light fill your life too. Well, thanks for watching. I hope you found this video illuminating. I've been Dynamic Dan. Stay awesome and bye for now.
Wow, that trick was seriously cool, wasn't it? And Dynamic Dan used it to remind us that Jesus came into the blind man's life and healed him through his love and his light. And Dan also told us that Jesus can come into our lives and bring his light and his love to us too. It's amazing, isn't it? And I tell you something else that's amazing about Jesus, and that's that we can talk to him anytime we want to, and we call that prayer. And we are going to learn the Hope Club prayer now, and you can use this prayer anytime you like. All you need for it is your hand. So you need to put your hand like this with your palm facing upwards. And the first thing I want you to do is to touch each of your fingers with your thumb. Can you do that? Fantastic. So now each of our fingers is going to have a letter attached to it, and it's a letter from the word hope. So it will go H-O-P-E. Can you do that? H-O-P-E. Fantastic. That's all you need for this prayer. Each of those letters represents something that we're going to pray for. And hopefully the word hope will help you remember those things and you can pray for them anytime you like. So let's start. We're going to pray for H first. This stands for happy. So we're going to thank God for all of the things that make us happy. So let's take a couple of moments now, either in quiet or you can say it out loud if you like to thank God for the things that make us happy. Amen. Our next finger is O, and this stands for oh dear. Now, I don't know about you, but I haven't got everything right this week. I've definitely done some things this week that might have made God a bit sad and that might have made other people a bit sad. So this is our chance to say sorry to God for the things we've done this week that might have made him sad or other people sad. So again, let's take a few moments, either in quiet or out loud, to say sorry to God for the things that have made people sad this week. Amen. Our third finger is P, and this stands for please. So this is an opportunity to ask God for the things that we need. And maybe, because of our story today, we could ask him to bring his light and his love into our lives each day this week. Let's take a moment to ask God for the things that we need. Amen. And our final finger is E, and this stands for everyone else. So this is a chance to pray for anybody who we would like to pray for today. Maybe someone we know is sad, maybe someone who needs something in particular, maybe someone who we want to know God's love and his light today. So let's take a moment to pray for the people that we want to pray for. Amen. Fantastic. So that is our Hope Club prayer, and you can use that anytime this week. You can talk to God wherever you want to and whenever you want to. He's always listening, and he loves to hear from us. We hope that you've enjoyed this first episode of the Hope Club. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll be back again next week. If you would like to be sent these videos and you're not currently on our email list, then please do email or get a grown-up to email me. My email address will be below this video in the description box. And do have a look at the activity sheet and the craft sheet. Those will be attached to the email if you've already been sent it. There's a link to them in the description box below this video, and you can find them on our Facebook page as well. In the email and below this video, you'll also be able to find a link to a worship song which is related to the story we heard today. You might like to have a go at singing that. And if you have any questions about anything that you've seen in this video today, about anything Dynamic Dan said or anything else, then please do feel free to get in touch with me. Again, the details are below, and I'd be very happy to chat to you about it. Thank you so much for joining us today. It's been great to have you with us, and we hope you'll join us again next week for the second episode of the Hope Club. Until then, God bless and take care. Bye!